morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. I'll be your service chair for the day. My name is June Chin. Today's service is our monthly Shotsuki Hoyo service, in which we observe the people who have passed away during this month. Also, today's service recognizes Lady Takeko Kujo, who was one of the founders of the Buddhist Women's Association, also founded the Kyoto Women's College, and was a humanitarian for most of her life. Also on the first Sunday, as I mentioned, for this Shotsuki Hoyo service, we mentioned the names, members of our Buddhist community who have passed away. Sensei will now read the names of those loved ones who passed away during this month of February. In observance of today's service, friends may come forward to offer sensei incense as the sensei reads their names. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, June. I will begin to read the names on the February Shotsuki Hoyo list. Again, this is a list of those we know who were close to us who passed in the month of February. If you lost someone in February that we don't have on the list, just let us know. We'll add the name. There's no charge for this. But these are those we know we've lost in February, if I may. February Shotsuki Hoyo. Arnold, Jan Elizabeth. Akita, Terumitsu. Corella, Robert Chavez. Doi, Momie. Fujikawa, Kichinojo. Fujikawa, Senkichi. Fujitaki, Tane. Fujimoto, Nami. Furumoto, Masaru. Goto, Dorothy. Goto, Chiyoko. Hanamoto, Moto. Harabe, Mikio. Harabe, Kinue. Hino, Ito. Hirata, Sen. Ishikawa, Toshio. Ito, Mary. Ito, Yuki. Kajikawa, Niichi. Kajikawa, Uta. Kamon, Mieko. Kawahara, Kazuo. Kawamoto, Kumajiro. Kawashima, Michika. Kawashima, Mitsuyori. Kitaguchi, Mitsuyori. Kitaguchi, Tamako. Kobayashi, Tama. Kurata, Henry. Masumoto, Katsuno. Matsubara, Toshie. Matsui, Kimito. Matsuoka, Rinichi. Mito, Masae. Miyashita, Sasuke. Morino, Shizue. Morishita, Tsuta. Nagano, Shizue. Naito, Keitsuchi, Naito Keitsuchi. Nakamoto Kyoko. Nakamoto Tsutomu. Nishi Takeshi. Nishimoto Jiso Ichi. Nishimura Setsu. Nishimura Shizue. Ogura Shuichi. Okazaki Ki. Okazaki Sid. Otaki Hide. Okuno Kiyono. Okuno Nisaku. Omura Hifumi. Omura Yasamatsu. Oyama Toshiaki. Saeda Kame. Sakahara Tora. Sakamoto Shino. Sakamoto George Masaru. Shimizu Rui, Shirozu Natsuko, Soga Yukio, Sogi Kono, Sugimoto Ruri, Sunairi Kame, Sunairi Shigeru, Takahashi Yoshiko, Takenouchi Kichi, Takenouchi Seiichi, Tamanaha Roy Koichi, Tashima Hisayo, Tomotani Hideji, Tsuchiya Setsu, Tsukida Kuninori, Tsukida Sakuhe, Umeta Kanichi, Umeta Kiyoshi, Watanabe Sada, Yamane Me, Yamasaki Takashi, Yamashita Kihe, Yamashita Kisoe, Yamashita Kozo, Yamashita Minae, Yujiri Yaokichi. Thank you very much.
May the Sangha please rise. I would just like to keep it simple for my reflective quote and just quote a Swedish adage, and that is, shared joy is double joy, shared sorrow is half sorrow. Will the Sangha please be seated? Thank you. Please turn to page 33. This is Butsu Ge in your books. Thank you. This will be followed by the Gatha, which will be Seiya on page 152. But I guess first Butsu Ge on page 33.
Thank you very much, June. And indeed, I'll ask you all to join me in Sambutsu Ge. In just a moment, I will begin by announcing the service and chanting the Shishinrai, which is to reaffirm our reliance upon the Buddha, the Dharma, and the community we call the Sangha. Shishin Kei Ilei Namo Hyochiu Ho Shishin Kei Ilei Namo Shochiu Hu Shishin Kei Ilei Namo Shochiu So Busatsu Daimuryo Jukyo Sanbutsu Ge Kogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Nyode Enmyo Muyo Tosha Ichigatmani Shuko Enyo Kaishtonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyolai Yogen Shosei Murin Shogaku Daion Koru Jippo Kaimon Shojin Tammai Chie 意徳無量修正慶右順大連年小仏有人人の空音外体無明欲ぬ定尊読む人の死死人徳無量空君広大知恵人妙光明意相神道大仙願が差仏大正法華道生寺未不下脱不戦用意戒人精進妙税三昧知恵以上合成特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安停止無仏百千億万無量大小修行語者供養一切使徒小仏不尿愚道天正不逆異尿語者小仏世界不不影無臭殺道光明師匠変死小国妙税精進異人難量ヨガサブ国土第一公衆奇妙道場超絶国尿内音二無闘争ガト愛民道達一切実法来生新熱少女糸が国慶楽安穏公仏神妙税が神聖おつがんの日力小小欲実法生存知恵無下上領子孫知が信行平量心死食毒中大行精進民衆不敬ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願に宿毒平等性一切道菩提心恩友ナモミラ仏ナモミラ仏ナモミラ仏ナモミラ仏ナモミラ仏
Will the Sangha now please rise for Gatha? This is Seiya on page 152. This is also coincidentally composed by Lady Takeko Kujo. Thank you. Also remain standing so that Sensei may also lead us in the reflective recitation. Thank you. Again, please remain standing and turn to page 11 for the Six Paramitas.
Okay, I did you the favor of standing away from the microphone during the song. Seiya is pretty high for some of us, but Lady Kujo wrote that piece, so we like to do it. This will be easier. One of our shortest devotional pieces, as June told you, bottom of page 11, the Six Paramitas, or perfections. Dana, giving. May I be generous and helpful. Shila, guidance. May I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Kshanti, tolerance. May I regard the mistakes of others with sympathy. Virya, perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. Prajna, insight. May I understand the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Thank you. Sensei will now talk about remembering those whom we have lost.
Well, again, good morning. Thank you for being here or for watching from home, participating from home. This is, as you've been told, our Shotsuki Hoyo service, our service honoring those whose names I read just earlier, those friends and family members who passed away in the month of February. That list included the name of my first wife, Jan Elizabeth, who died 41 years ago of a stroke on February 29th. So her Meinichi only comes up every 4 years. It's kind of an unusual day to die. Don't die on February 29th. It'll be confusing to your family. Hold on for another day. See the month of March. Now this, today is not Lady Kujo's Meinichi because she passed on the 7th of February, but it is her special day. And she's being honored all over the globe today, Lady Takeko Kujo. In Hawaii, here in North America, in Canada, North America, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. She's being honored right now when we're doing it too. And then she was honored 3 hours ago in New York, because this moving planet kind of thing. And it was yesterday across the international date line. So in Japan, she was honored yesterday. But this is her special time. She founded our Buddhist Women's Association. I'll tell you just a little more about her. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on her biography. I will, though, before going further into the Dharma talk, I will, as I like to do, acknowledge my colleagues in presenting this service. We have Alan Goto doing the videography and providing tech support. Kathy Kumagai is at home, also providing additional tech support. Howard Hayes is our organist. Kyoko Okura Gibbs did the flowers and the Naijin preparation and kept the hondo cleaned up for us. The flowers, which Kyoko arranged, were partly provided by Jess Hamada and partly by our Buddhist Women's Association, again, which was founded by Lady Takeko Kujo. And of course, I must thank Jun Shin for chairing the service. We actually have three themes today, so I won't spend as much time as usual on covering details of Lady Takeko Kujo's life. She was a very interesting person. Besides founding the Women's Association in our denomination, she was part of a very interesting family. We have had now 25 chief abbots, 25 over a course of 800 years. Of the 25 chief abbots, without question, the most famous were her brother and her father. Her brother was Kozuyo Tani. If you speak Japanese, you can't get enough, you read Japanese, you can't get enough information on him. There are thousands upon thousands of pages about him. He explored the Silk Road, found ancient texts and everything. But it's all in Japanese, so I can't tell you much. Not much has been translated about her father, but he is the most famous of all the Gomonshus, of all our chief abbots. Her brother, Kozuyo Tani, and her father, Myonyo Shonin, was the Gomonshu who sent priests to Canada, Hawaii, Brazil, and North America. Mexico and Argentina came later, but he sent priests here to Canada, to Hawaii, and so we are very indebted to her father, and the whole world is indebted to her brother for his academic work, studying the development of Buddhist tradition. So it was a very rich period in our history. We also are thinking of our loved ones who passed away. I put my first wife's name down in her maiden name, Jan Elizabeth Arnold, so she's the first one on the list. There were a number of people on this list who were friends of mine who I miss. Your parents, your cousins became people I care about. So we are thinking of them today, not just Lady Takeko Kujo. And you know, there's one more thing we're doing. We're coping with the trauma of these fires. We have all been traumatized by this. Even if your house wasn't burned down, you have been traumatized. This has been an awful 3.5 weeks, going on 4 weeks. I hope that you're all safe and secure. Some of you lost your homes and your businesses. None of us lost our lives this time. I hope that you are safe and secure. Those at home, I hope you are safe and secure. I hope that you are all safe and secure for the moment, which is all we can be. This is our life. I hope we're safe and secure this morning. We human beings on the planet Earth can only be safe and secure for the moment. We were just struck by horrific wildfires. As I've been telling you every week that, you know, this happened because of human error and human development and stuff we can change, but it's been happening every 5 or 10 years, you know, because of things we can change. But if we did everything right, it would still happen every 500 years. It may not happen to you or your grandchildren, but your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will have their homes destroyed, they'll have their village collapsed, they'll have the city destroyed. This is the human condition. We cannot prevent this. We can make it better now for those we care about and those we touch, those we come in contact with. We were just struck by horrific wildfires. In Lady Takeko Kujo's day, it was an earthquake. She went to Tokyo immediately after the Great Tokyo Earthquake of 1923. She was 35 years old, a noble woman, an aristocrat, and she went there and provided nursing care to people on the ground. And as soon as the acute phase of recovering from the earthquake was over, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I think she stayed being a nurse to people. Then she went around Japan collecting funds to establish charity hospitals and to help the victims of the earthquake. She worked continuously and tirelessly to help the victims of the Tokyo earthquake and to rebuild the largest Jodo Shinshu temple in the world, the Tsukiji Betsuin. Every celebrity who passes away in Japan has their funeral at the Tsukiji Betsuin. The only exceptions would be a certain small number of Nichiren-shu people, because it's by far the largest temple in Tokyo. So every celebrity that's died in the last 100 years, you can be sure their funeral was at that temple that Lady Takeko Kujo oversaw the rebuilding of. She also, idea of her own was to establish these free medical clinics, the Ashoka clinics. Lady Takeko Kujo contracted an infection doing her work. She started helping the victims of the great earthquake at the age of 35, and she died at the age of 40 from what they call blood poisoning or sepsis. I just had a friend die of that last year. It's the worst thing they can tell you because, oh, she died of sepsis. And what is that? Oh, we don't know. We call it blood poisoning. That's the other word. Oh, and what is it? We don't know. It means that something bad got in your blood and killed you. I think they say about 2/3 of the time it's an external infection, which is what happened to her. She picked up an infection treating the ill. But 1/3 of the time that it happens, they have no idea why it happened. I had a friend, Romany O'Hara and I had a friend, a young boy. He passed away at the age of 22. We knew him when he was like 13, 14, 15. He was a friend of ours in Kyoto. You could get a letter saying, died of blood poisoning. What does that mean, right? We don't know yet. Terrible, terrible. She died at the age of 40 after 5 years of helping others vigorously, but she was not a one-woman show. We sometimes don't excessively heroize others. They always had other people helping them. She was a great woman. She came from a family of wealth and influence. If she sent somebody a letter and said, we need you here, they came. If she sent a telegram and said, we need you to do this, they did it. If she had something she's funding, like rebuilding the Tsukiji Betsuin, she had the money to do that. We can't do that. She had wealth and influence, she had resources, she had influential colleagues, but she chose to use all those assets and connections to help others with little concern for her own well-being. It was actually her sister-in-law, Kazuko, her sister-in-law, Kazuko Otani, who came up with the idea of building women's colleges all over Japan. This was Kazuko Otani's idea. It's a very rich family. This was Kozue Otani's daughter, and she had this idea. So she and Lady Kujo, Takeko Kujo, worked together on getting these universities established for women in Japan, to empower women in Japan. Unfortunately, her sister-in-law, Kazuko Otani, died at the age of 30. And I don't know why. There's no record anywhere I saw what caused her to die so young. But she died at 30, so Lady Kujo carried on that work of establishing the women's colleges. She had the additional idea of making free clinics, and she did on-the-ground, hands-on nursing care, which is what undoubtedly, along with the fatigue she experienced, what caused her death. Lady Otani established one of those causes before her death, and there are several that came from that work she did. Those free medical clinics, again, were her idea, not her sister-in-law's. I received free medical care myself at one of those clinics. I know how to receive medical care in Japan. You go in and you tell the doctor what's wrong with you, and you tell him what he needs to prescribe you. And he did just what I told him to do. But otherwise I had no access to that medicine, so it was a good thing I got into that clinic, the Ashoka Clinic in Kyoto. Lady Takeko Kujo helped devastated, wounded, sick, impoverished people. An aristocrat herself, she helped devastated, wounded, sick, impoverished people. She worked tirelessly for others, picking up an infection along the way, which, in her exhausted condition, caused her death. May we honor Lady Takeko Kujo. She's one of our heroes. May we express our esteem for her, but not do quite as she did. She was too good. She was too good for her own well-being. She was too good to watch out for herself. Let us admire her, but not try to be too good. Let's try to be pretty good. Let's try to be pretty danged helpful to others. Let's try to be downright obliging to others, to those in greater need than ourselves. But we must take care of ourselves as well. We must take care of ourselves and our families as well. We must take care of others while also looking after our own well-being. Lady Kujo had many resources, and she used them for helping others. We each have some resources, which we must use to make others and ourselves more secure and safe. Rather secure, somewhat safe. We can only be rather safe. We can only be somewhat secure in this life. But it's important to be that. We got to get back there. There aren't many of us in the room right now who are feeling safe and secure. We are actually. We're all either okay where we were, or we're with our family or our friends, or we're in a hotel. We are kind of safe and secure, but I bet nobody's really feeling it deeply in their bones right now. We have to come to feel that the way we used to, even though the truth is we're only ever going to be rather safe and somewhat secure. We can make ourselves relatively safe, and we can work to make others a bit more secure. But we make these efforts with unsteady steps. Traumatized a bit ourselves, we wobble over to help others. We wobble over to provide assistance to others. People that take Tai Chi with me all know that the first guy was exposed to Tai Chi was rather famous, but he wasn't terribly good. My teacher was good. His teacher was great. But Xia Fu Feng, the first time I studied Tai Chi was with Xia Fu Feng, and he told us what his teacher said to him. You're putting all your weight on one leg at a time, basically all of it. And so he said, the instructions are, don't wobble. Don't wobble. But if wobble, wobble. Right? Don't fake it. Try to walk with strong steps over there to help others. But if you look carefully, you're going to see a little wobbling on the legs. It's okay. It's okay. Lady Takeko Kujo was a hero, an exemplar. But we wobble towards helping others and giving assistance to our family. And she even wrote a little poem more about people like us. So she was an exemplar, but this is something she wrote that's more like applicable to me. Great compassion from the Buddha always embraces and guides me. Great compassion from the Buddha always embraces and guides me. Yet each of my steps is fragile and unstable. This is the truth. With our fragile, unstable, wobbly little steps, stopping every now and then to take care of ourselves, make sure our family's okay, we walk over to help others. We're going to keep doing it, but take care of yourself. There's only a handful of us that could possibly die by the age of 40, so I'm not going to die young. I'm not going to die young. But I also don't want to die in the early part of senior citizens. I want to die at the end part of the senior citizen spectrum, you know. I want you all to have long, productive, happy lives. And that means that to be happy, you are going to help others. You're not going to have a good life if you don't spend some of your energy and resources helping others. But do keep some gas in the engine for yourself, some gas in the tank for yourself. Keep some time for yourself. Keep some energy for yourself. Keep some planning for your own well-being, because we can only help others if we are still here. Lady Takeko Kujo did a wonderful job of helping others for 40 years. She could have done it for 80 if she'd just been able to be a little less pure, a little more selfish. Selfishness is biological. It's okay. Greed is different from selfishness. Greed is when you've got all you need and you're still grabbing more for yourself and there's other people out there needing. It's okay to be a little self-concerned and even to put your family first. Do take care of yourselves, and in doing so, we will do a little bit of what Lady Takeko Kujo did, helping others who have been hit by this horrible disaster. And we will honor our families. Those people whose names I read today, they will be happy to see us doing good for others. They will, as we put it, be pleased to see us being the kinds of people they hoped we would be. That is the message for today. So let us take those fragile and uncertain steps into the future, into a happy, secure future for everyone. I will close the message with the Kansho and the saying of the Buddha's name. As you please join me. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
thank you, Sensei, for that wonderful Dharma message this morning. Also, thank you to Sensei, too, for filling in the gaps that I unfortunately left. I call myself the perpetual trainee, and that's what happens. Anyway, will the Sangha please rise? I'm going to keep my message very simple today and simply say, let us have a grateful heart. Namami Butsu, Namami Butsu, Namami Butsu. Will the Sangha please be seated? I just want to mention, too, very, very briefly that a special thanks to Sensei and his wife, Kyoko, and their son, Ren, who have come, who have spent an extraordinary amount of time and effort to receive all the donations, organize them, also assist in all our relief efforts. And you understand that these donations come perpetually. So one of them has had to greet them, arrange for the goods to be delivered to this campus, and that takes an extraordinary amount of effort and time. So we are all very, very grateful. And I know I've gotten calls, and I'll have to text one of them saying that it's on their way, and can somebody be there? So thank you so much for the Gibbs family, yay! Special shout out to them. Also, too, I would like to acknowledge really my gratitude for some of the extraordinary people that I have met and I've been contacted as far as donations, and because my second hat is the Pasadena Japanese Cultural Institute, and so combined with our campus there, this Buddhist temple, and then the Altadena Presbyterian people, we have sort of been able to join forces. And again, thank you so much for the generosity, not only of other temples, but various organizations that have reached out to us. So I'm so, so grateful. Even random encounters, I was able to greet Red Cross people who happened to come on our campus, and we were able to get more donations, for instance, vitally needed hazmat suits, cleanup kits, and so on. So very, very grateful for that. Also, too, since I'm here, I'm going to take the liberty of making the first announcement, and that is next Wednesday evening, I believe that's the 5th, Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock on our campus at Pasadena Japanese Cultural Institute. You could look us up on the web at 595 Lincoln, so it's just, 5 minutes down the street from here. We are having a special, sort of an informational gathering session that is at one of our local members, Johnny Come On. Some of you already know who he is. He and his wife and their pets unfortunately lost their home in the Altadena fire. He has sort of been the de facto go-to person for information and has been finding that the questions that he's been asked occur sort of over and over. So what he's finding is that he would like to put together this information gathering session for those who have been affected by the fires. Anybody is welcome. He is going to have experts on site. The Red Cross will be there as well to be able to answer questions directly. It will also be catered, so you won't go hungry at the same time. So if you're able to, please come or tell your friends to come. Again, this is next Wednesday, 6 o'clock at PJCI, so the Cultural Institute, just down the street. Again, if you have questions, please come and see me today. Also today, I believe we have tea and wagashi to honor Lady Takeko Kujo's memory. Also, too, are there other announcements?
Yeah, thanks so much, June. And just want to say everything's the same. We're back to usual schedule, so I hope to see you definitely next Sunday at 10 a.m. Thank you for being here this week.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see so many people. After you've been here for a long time, every time you sit through a Shotsuki service and you listen to all the names, those faces come up. I saw Kathy nodding her head when we hear names. And so we miss everybody. Memorial service is real important because we know that we're not the person we are without all those other people that have influenced our lives, and not just relatives, but friends. And so a lot of the names that were called today might not have been my relatives, but there are a lot of people in there that influenced me, and I know influenced others. So thanks for attending this memorial service this month. And Sensei, thank you very much for the wonderful message. It was great. They took us to that Tsukiji temple, but I didn't understand why, but now I know why. So, yes, so just like, what's your name? June said, you helped fill in a lot of gaps for me. Thank you very much today. And again, I think this is a wonderful time to recognize somebody like Lady Kujo, because I think right now everybody around us has been like a Lady Kujo. Everybody's been making donations and giving us time and so much love to help everybody that's been affected by this awful fire. And so just to let you know, please let anybody know if they need anything to contact us. Sensei or Kyoko, they've been so wonderful about staying around and meeting people. But again, you know, we're not doing this by ourselves. What you find out in these kind of times is that everybody, every place, no matter where they are thinking about us and they're supporting us, be it financially or by notes, you know, sharing their concern for us. So I know I'm very appreciative to everybody. And so please keep coming back. It's nice to see so many people in person. And so it's not just tea, we also have manju. So please come on over and enjoy some sweets. We have coffee and tea for you. But thank you for coming.
Thank you, Jeannie. One more minor note, and that is our Sumide Crafts Group is starting up again this Tuesday. Please come by. Guess we'll be in the annex or the room next to the classroom. And again, as Jeannie mentioned, we have a lot of donated relief goods. So please, if you know a friend or if you want to pick some items up for yourself, please do so. Also, too, every Sunday at PJCI from 1 to 3 o'clock, we have sort of just a very informal tea gathering. I believe some counselors from Little Tokyo Services Center will be there too, but again, you can go, stay as long as you like, but it's just to have some tea and get together and just have a little socializing, so please avail yourselves to that. Again, that's every Sunday from 1 to 3. I think any other... Oh, yes, we have flyers about that too, so please avail yourselves. Okay, yeah, for the rest of this month, so please avail yourselves, or if you could let anybody know who you think might benefit from that, please do so. I think, is that it as far as announcements? Any other announcements? Oh, if anybody has not yet offered incense and would like to do so, please do so. And that concludes our service for today. And then also please join us for tea and wagashi next door. Thank you very much.